Hi, this is Julie Fast, and today I'd like to talk about my diagnosis and what happened to me. And I think you'll find it's probably very similar to what you went through. I get a lot of stories from people that tell me the year they were diagnosed or going to the hospital, and I'm just amazed that all of us have the same symptoms and the same problems. And I think that's why I'm so serious when I say you have to have a comprehensive treatment plan. So I'll tell you how I came to that conclusion and how I came about to create the health cards for bipolar disorder. In 1995, I took a trip to China, not knowing that I was manic, which I was. I left my partner, I left everything and just got on a plane. By about 6 weeks, I had gone down and I was in a hotel in Hong Kong with my mom because she'd followed me there because she was so worried. And I looked in the mirror and I remember thinking, something's very wrong. And what I didn't know at the time was that I was psychotic. And so we flew back to the United States and I immediately was put on an antidepressant. My cat just sat on my lap. I was put on an antidepressant, which is one of the worst things that can happen to someone with bipolar disorder. And I can talk about that a little later, but it made me manic. And I thought, oh my gosh, everything's fine, because I still didn't have a diagnosis. And then finally, in 1995, as I said, at age 31, I was given the diagnosis called rapid cycling bipolar 2, which is a form of bipolar disorder. And I thought, oh my gosh, my problems are over. I have a diagnosis, I'll take medications, I'll be fine. 3 years later, 23 medications, 80-pound weight gain, I realized I needed something more. And right there, I remember thinking, just having medications is not enough. I need a comprehensive treatment plan, don't I? I need to learn what triggers this illness and why I'm so sick all of the time. I need to learn to take care of this by myself until I find a medication that's going to make a big difference. And so I sat down, and that's when I created the health cards. And I said to myself, I'm not going to let this illness kill me, because that's where it was going. I'd lost all my friends, I couldn't work, I was pretty desperate, and that's when I created the health cards. And by the way, animals are a great way to deal with depression. This is my kitty. She won't be still. But by 1999, so a year later after deciding to create the health cards, I was getting better. By 2000, believe it or not, after a year and a half of using the health cards, I was able to start writing. My relationships got better. I was just more able to lead my life. Now it's been 7 years of using the health cards, and as those of you who've read my books know, I believe in a comprehensive plan, and that's what the health cards do, is that along with my medications, the health cards gave me ability to live again. And I want the same for everybody. And recent statistics and studies and things from universities and all kinds of newspaper articles, etc., are saying we need a whole person system for managing this illness. And I believe medications are number one. They're important. But believe me, the rest is all about managing this illness comprehensively. And that's why the health cards can make such a big difference in your treatment plan. So that's my story. Diagnosed for 12 years now. Finally reached a point in my life where I managed this illness very successfully, and that's because of the health cards. So I hope the same for you.